Number 7, this is what you've been waiting for. You need to be able to present the buyer's broker's agreement or the buyer's representation agreement. You should be very comfortable explaining this. These have been, especially in Florida, these have been in existence forever. They have not been a mandatory requirement until today, on August 17th, 2024. But as of today, you're going to want to be able to open this agreement up, walk through it so they're comfortable signing it. At this point, you've built the relationship. If you started it off with a great big piece of paper that says what percentage you expect to make, you are not going to have a client. Every attorney can tell you the reason that they do business and the reason that they do all of their commission contracts or their fees contracts in advance is so they can build a little bit of relationship, show their value and show their experience in being able to present against a case and why they may be successful for this client. And then they build a contractual relationship of, we are going to do business together. I do not work for free. And hold that line, agents. You are not a free service. If a seller and a buyer are refusing to cooperate on paying your commission, you should not be closing the deal. I'm sorry, there is no legal requirement for you to work for $0. Someone must pay for your services. The buyer's broker agreement guarantees in contract that the buyer must pay you for the services rendered in purchasing a home. Those fees can be negotiated by or into the selling contract so that the seller consumes some or all of your expected commission, if that's the way you choose to negotiate it. Just like any other concession, guys. Don't make it complicated. Don't overload on the story. If you sell it and you speak to it like this has been an everyday conversation, that confidence is what's going to move your client forward. So they'll be comfortable, you'll be comfortable, and there will be no question if you get later into the negotiating phase and they are on the hook for your entire fee package because you've earned it and you displayed it up front. In real estate, there's enough surprises. Without the buyer's broker's agreement, there's a chance of you investing a whole lot of time in clients only for them to switch in another agent at the 11th hour. This eliminates that for you. It is crucial for you to showcase even a sample agreement to them and guide them through the key selections before you fill it out and have them sign it. It is exclusive representation. They need to understand that you will be working solely with me for X amount of time while we are viewing houses together. And my job is to do the job well, do the job successfully as I have displayed it here, or fire me. It's very simple, just like they would have in any other industry. They're expected to pay for services. If your mechanic's not doing a good job, you'll fire him on the spot. If you leave the mechanic's office and the car's not running, you will go back to the mechanic and say, do it again. You will not work with an attorney for very long if they're not communicating well, following up with you, giving you detailed information towards your case, and keeping you properly informed. You will fire them. This is no different, and all of these industries have worked exactly the same for eons. It's crucial for you to showcase your talents. This is the very first negotiation that you will actually have with your clients, and it will show that you understand and can explain to them in plain English how a compensation is involved for your services. Number 8, show clear next steps. When you're getting to the end of your presentation, it is important for you to have clearly outlined next steps. Instead of just saying thanks and you let me know what to expect next, it really needs to include setting up property tours, diving into offer strategies. Here's what an as-is contract or a traditional purchase agreement looks like. Here are the areas that we're going to be focusing on for negotiations. Now that we're in agreement, we're going to work together. You need to know some of my strategies that I have used in the past. If you have not caught the buyer's strategy and the offer strategy videos, it is a 3-part series you do not want to miss, especially in this market. You want to be strong and you want to be able to advocate for your buyer or seller's needs. Check these videos out. Believe me, they will save you a lot of time and trouble. You want to be able to make sure that there is a clear timeline to maintain your momentum and answer any questions that need demonstration so that you can prepare to assist them throughout the home buying journey. It is not a start, go pick out a bunch of houses on Zillow and I'll see you on Saturday. I'll line up all the appointments. Here's a buyer's broker's agreement and now let's get cracking. You won't hear from me again until you pick another house. If you are able to keep things organized, consistently follow up, check in on the process, make suggestions, agents, as to some houses that you think they should also be looking at. Believe me, this approach is going to keep them dedicated to you helping them find the perfect place. Now that you know how to create it, you know what the key elements are. You got a template even ready to go. It's branded. It's 99% of it's filled out. You just got to punch code in the little things that you need at the very end to make it relatable to this client. Let's review the tips on delivering it and delivering it in a way that's going to build that foundation for a solid buyer's agent relationship. Role play. You need to role play your presentation with another agent. With a little bit of practice, it is going to ease the presentation for delivery. Even if you've got some nerves built up in there or you're stumbling over the vocabulary, make sure that you've had enough practice where if a client interrupts you, you can easily get back on track or pull them back into the conversation that needs to be had. If at all possible, not that this isn't fun. I love video too. Video presentations are great. But if you can deliver your presentation in person, if possible, and yeah, even at a Starbucks, and deliver it loud and proud so everybody else in Starbucks listens and hears what type of agent you are, that might be your best lead choice through that Starbucks every other week when you're doing these full-on buyer presentations. Avoid doing your presentation virtually if you can, because building a rapport is so much easier in person. Showing actual papers, not just some tablet that you're going to email to them later. A firm handshake, a warm smile, confident eye contact. It's going to go so much further. Convincing your leads that you're the agent for them is an expensive decision for them. It's a huge trust metric in their decision factory. You got to be in it to win it. If you are stuck in using a monitors or you're bringing them into your office because you've got a really sexy looking office and you want to make sure to show it off, great. Use a large monitor or something that they can hold, a large tablet that they can have in their hands and they can do the swiping. They can drive when giving the presentation. If you don't have a conference room with that kind of setup, consider pooling together with some of the agents in your office and finding something specifically, someplace to be able to do these presentations from. And I promise you, if you give your broker and brokerage an opportunity for you to be bringing clients in to show off space, they will absolutely accommodate you with either some shared office space or with a local conference room at their title company or appraiser's office of choice, and they will be able to allow you to show off successfully and professionally. And if you're going to do that, dress the part, kids. If you're going to be $1 million agent out there, you need to dress for the success. Stop walking in there all comfortable with your clients and wearing some torn up blue jeans and a ripped up shirt with your favorite radio show on it. You're past that. This isn't a car wash. This is the most expensive purchase that most of your clients will ever make as an investment. Show them some respect. Show them the representation that they deserve for, in the state of Florida, an over $460,000 average purchase price. Break the ice, but don't overdo it. Start your presentations with a minute or so of small talk. just to break the ice so that they can sit into it and don't make it death by PowerPoint. For those of you that come to my classes, absolutely do not read the text that is on the screen so that you look like an idiot and a complete unprofessional. Your job is to be able to think quickly, confidently, and be able to show them something to get their attention while you talk to that something, not read along with them so they can see, insert every teleprompter joke that we are dealing with on the media today right here, and you'll enjoy this joke a lot more. Set up that timeline. Tell them how long this presentation will take. It should not take any more than 15 minutes unless you add a whole bunch of quips and jokes. Leave plenty of room for Q&A. That's the most expensive reason for being here, and it's going to give you the best price for the time that you're in. You need to ask specific, open-ended questions for your clients, not the simple yes and no stuff. You need to build communication. So if you can gather information from a profile, build the trust, get them excited about their search, you can then ask plenty of questions to get some actionable buyer profile during this presentation. Stuff that you need to know and stuff you might now be hearing from a partner that you didn't even know was involved in the purchase. Choose 3 or 4 questions that are going to best fit your situation, help be the most knowledgeable. Some simple ones I can review for you. You ever worked with a buyer's agent before? Why do you want to find a new home and why now? What kind of monthly payments are you comfortable with? How experienced are you in the mortgage process? Have you ever had to choose a location versus price versus a style of living? Is there a specific school district you need to be in or a proximity to one of your jobs? What's our time frame in working together? How quickly do we plan on choosing a home? What's our communication strategy going to be? Do you prefer texts? Do you work best early in the morning? Do you work best late at night after your working hours? Is it okay if I just text message you throughout? And when you message me, this is how long it may take me to get back to you because I have other clients too. You are a priority. However, I have to make sure that all of my clients are a priority. Can you paint me a picture of your dream home? Don't ask them to sign the exclusive buyer's broker's agreement on your initial presentation before you're offering to show a house. Build the rapport. Walk them through an agency disclosure agreement so that they know what's coming. Make sure that they don't sign anything with you until they know you better, and make that a point of your pitch. Hey, this is what a buyer's broker agency agreement, an exclusivity agreement between you and I looks like. These are going to be the points that are going to be negotiable from the buyer and seller side together. I don't want you to think that you're necessarily on the hook for all of my commission. My job is to try to negotiate that from some of our other partners in this transaction. In my experience, I have rarely, if ever, had my buyers have to pay for my commission. It has traditionally been negotiated elsewhere. Be honest with your clients. They can find out that information. They can make some phone calls. But don't just walk them right into the, hey, before we go show a house today, we're going to go do this. Build that rapport and use this presentation to do it. Send them a full PDF of the presentation after it's presented. You really want to wow them? Have your buyer agent's checklist ready and go over it with them. We've done that in plenty of our other classes before. If you don't have one with your brokerage, contact us here at Keystone. We'll give you ours. You can rebrand it. It is open and transparent information that all of us use. You might not be using all of it that you should. Make sure that they have references to the local markets and the things that you want them to be listening to in the media. Then, of course, you're going to want to make sure to send any kind of social media links or things that expose you better in social media to them. Because when they're not with you, you needed to have built that presence that keeps you present with them even when you're not around. And remember, knowledge is confidence. If you can walk into your presentation confidently because you have all the information and the skills, you are not going to be having any problems converting your client. Delivering a top-notch, professional, and successful buyer's presentation is going to take confidence, a lot of thoughtfulness, but if you do it well, you will convert those warm buyer leads in as little as a 15-minute show. If you've got a real estate buyer's presentation template that has worked well for you, or something that you would like me to take a look at to try to help you prep it better for the current environment, send it to me. The links are always in our scripts. You know how to reach me directly. Or maybe just a story about a buyer's presentation that went sideways. There's going to be a lot of that coming up starting today. Let us know in the comments section some of the struggles that you're having. Let us help you. Get a broker and an experienced broker's position on how this market should be working to your favor, not to your disadvantage.